I'm only speaking to benevolent beings. I'm only speaking to benevolent beings. I refuse consent for any entity, being, group to be holding, that is holding ill intent towards me, to be on my channel, and or to listen to any of these recordings. I refuse consent for all forced magic, reversal magic, and magic of any kind in any form from any source in existence to be forced on any level, dimension, or timeline of my being, which is to include any part of any of my recordings. I refuse consent for all forced technologies, clones, clone attachments, forced magic, entity attachments, forced astral realm connections, and or artificial reality connections, including any entities trying to force those. And I refuse consent to being harmed. Moving forward, it's come to a point, unfortunately, where I have to do that for every recording. Now, this is going to be a little bit different. The topic of discussion has to do with shifting realities. Now, there's a link in the description box that I've recently found. There's a timestamp that's included if you feel like you want to take a look at those. The first clip is a guy talking about the sky and how it's not a real sky. And as he's talking about this, they're showing a clip of the Hunger Games, I think, or maybe that's the next clip. But one of the clips is of a more recent movie in where, I don't want to say the name because who knows, I don't know about copyright and all that. So, where a giant gorilla picks up a tree, pulls off all the branches, and throws it at the sun. And what it hits is the dome, I guess you'd call it, and it shatters, and behind it you can see like a lattice work of, like, I'm assuming steel, or like a steel gridwork, a skeletal construction that makes up the dome. Okay, now the second clip is of a guy who does very long camera exposures of like bright stars in the sky, possibly bright planets, and he'll do these long exposures, and he found over a period of time as he was doing these that when you zoom in, the entire sky looks like the inside of a computer board. Or it looks like the inside of a computer, like the motherboard. Now, we know how they operate. We know that they put things in movies, bits and pieces of the truth. And many people do refer to this place as a holographic simulation. So in looking at those two clips, they could be fake, they could be real, who knows. As far as whether those are the truth or not, I don't know. I guess it's for everyone to contemplate and come to their own conclusions. But in mentioning those clips, over the last couple days, I have been watching these videos of people who are giving accounts or relaying their experiences of shifting to alternate realities. Some people think that there's multiverses, and some people think there's just one universe. And some people don't. Some people think that outside of this place is a huge landmass. I would still argue that even the landmass is still within a larger place. But that's not, I digress. With that topic of discussion. Moving forward, in listening to these people describe their experiences of shifting to alternate realities, it's a little freaky. It is. But as I was listening, all of a sudden, I got a flash of that movie. Some of you might have seen it. It's called I don't even know if I should say it. Dark is the first word, and then the second word is CITY. In where there's like Men in Black type of aliens that every night like rearrange the entire city and buildings and people, and the guy keeps trying to find a particular beach. I think I forget what he calls it, but and they, towards the end, I guess they realize they catch them doing this. So keeping that movie in mind, and then if you watch the clips, and I might even put a link to one of the videos of, those people describing their experiences with shifting to different realities. But as I was listening to those people describe what they had, experienced, that movie flashed in my mind, and then it kind of started a whole train of other thoughts and or concepts, in that I know that they've erected artificial realities, and the astral realm itself, they've connected the technology and artificial realities to the astral realms. We know that they do their resets. I'm just saying there might be some dots there to connect. Now, I've kind of connected some dots. I don't know if those connections are accurate. But in addition to that, with the cloning, the forced cloning that they do, like these people describing their experiences are like, They said it was them, but it wasn't them. They said those realities were like slightly different. Not totally different, but slightly different. And, you know, they had different families and different friends. Sometimes the friends and the family would look the same, but it wasn't them. Some of the experiences were just wow. Like, there were a couple that were kind of way out there. But with all the forced cloning, and with them, the malevolence trying to use technology to rape very inherent things from benevolent beings, and then if you then know how they try to use those things. So they're forcibly trying to clone people out, swap people out with clones. And there's artificial realities. And, you know, the astral realm is its own mess. But a lot of people, especially over the last few years, have been experiencing inadvertent shifting to these other realities. So, and with that movie that flashed, it really, when you look at all the pieces, and then knowing that they tried to do, you know, knowing that they in the past have done resets, and knowing that they're trying to you know, swap people out with clones, and trying to get people into the AI system. And some of these people have already been like experiencing being in a slightly different reality. And some of them even claim to have gotten stuck in a reality for like a period of time. And then some people claim that they're from a different reality and are stuck here. So I'm just saying there's a lot of really fucked up shit going on. And with how the malevolence operates and what they do with the technology, these entities are so sick and twisted and sadistic and whacked that movie that I mentioned, I don't know. I mean, is there any truth to it, or isn't there? Right? Like, they're playing with artificial realities and astral realms. They're trying to forcibly swap out people with clones. They're trying to rape inherent things from beings. And it seems like those experiences, people are experiencing those things more often. And with people, you know, with all the weird shit that happens, people claiming to be stuck, coming from a different reality and being stuck here, some people have witnessed really strange things. There was one where a whole group of people watched their neighbor. They were at a cookout, and the neighbor said he had to run home to grab something, and like a whole group of them, and he was directly across the street, and a whole group watched him cross the road, and as soon as he crossed the road, he disappeared, and he never came back. So I'm sure that some of you may have seen videos of very strange things caught on camera. People all of a sudden appearing. People all of a sudden disappearing. Only to then reappear later on. Like, I'm just saying, I think there's some dots there that could be connected. And knowing that they do their resets, and knowing that they're trying to swap out and trying to rape inherent things from true benevolent beings, I just think it's something to be aware of. And as we know that there has been talk of them doing a reset, I just think it's wise to be very aware of your surroundings, obviously, your environment, but also definitely be declaring your intent. If you don't want to be swapped out with a clone, if you don't want to just be shoved into another body in a different reality, like if you're, that you don't want to be swapped out, right? Like, those are all things that, because they do need consent. They're trying to get consent. So, being aware of your environment, I think, is important, like I said, and declaring that whether, what I'm trying to say is, I apologize for the lack of flow here. If you like your being, right? If you love your being and you don't want to be swapped out, and you want to be able to stay in your organic state, I think it's wise to be declaring that outwardly, inwardly, and vocally. And looking at all those pieces, and possibly see what dots are there to be connected and how they've been running this shit show. What I'm saying is that all of that, when you start connecting dots, might be a large piece to the bigger puzzle in how they have been operating this shit show. Now, is it just one universe, or is it a multiverse? Is it just a matter of when people are shifting to alternate realities, is it really a different reality, or is it just an erected artificial reality, and these bitches are playing with technology? And if you remember that movie that I mentioned, it's kind of like, is it something like that that's going on with the use of technology and artificial realities and astral realms, right? Like, can you see what I'm saying? I don't know. All of that might be worth contemplating and seeing if there's any dots there. that look like they're connected in how they've been operating this shit show, and so you can be better prepared, right? I mean, more knowledge means you can be better prepared, and then you can better protect and defend yourself. And if you're choosing to keep your organic state untampered with, and you want to be at the helm of your own ship, right? You don't want some sadistic, twisted, sick creature thinking you're just a game piece, right? Like, I'm just saying, things to be aware of. Might be worth contemplating, might be worth seeing what dots are there to be connected, so you can be better prepared and better to better protect and defend yourself. I know what I think about it. But you know, everybody can probably look at those pieces and come up with something different or a different combination, so I don't necessarily know. I think I'm going to hold off on elaborating, and you know, if you want to check those out, you can, and hopefully be better prepared. When they start talking about doing their reset. And we know what they have to do if they're going to do the reset. And I think that that's going to be a very, 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 very important time. Especially trying to get the fuck out of here. And that refusal of consent, you know, refusing consent is still extremely important. And I hope that if there's any benevolent beings listening, I hope you're finding your strength and standing in your power and authority. And know yourselves well. Like, that is so extremely important, to know yourselves very well. And those links I'll put in the description box. All right, till next time.